Never fucking had it.
Shut
No way.
up.
Never fucking
No
had it.
way.
Wait, Austin, you trying to tell something else right now?
As humans, everybody lives in the same reality. We could all be in the same room together, but we perceive it differently.
All that experience, all that emotions, all the things that happen in that one life is boiled down to what we call instinct. And that's the only thing we can bring over to the next life.
You unbehave, you'll be canceled.
Coincidence? Coincidence? Coincidence. There cannot be three.
Hello and welcome back to the Collector Minds podcast. Oh, today you got me, Astral, your boy Jay, and Ledger up in here. You guys give him some love. Now. What do you go by?
Ledger.
Ledger. Right on. So we're gonna hop into this. It is not a conspiracy this time, kind of a conspiracy. I don't know. Cryptid, more like. You guys ever heard of the Loveland Frog people?
I've heard the name.
Something like that. What do you guys think about reptilians? We all know about that, huh? Reptilian people.
They're real.
They are real.
Well, I believe it.
On our screens.
On our screens and our screens.
In our White Houses.
They're in our voting booths. It's the Queen. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Too soon. Very funny. All right, guys. So as history tells it, one night in May of 1955, a traveling salesman drove through Loveland, Ohio, part of the greater Cincinnati region. He was alone on the road when he crossed a poorly lit bridge over the Little Miami River. There he saw three humanoid yet frog-like creatures looming in the shadows of the side of the road. The salesman watched as the three frog people talked amongst themselves, each oblivious to their observer. The salesman noted they all seemed to be about 3.5 feet tall, with leathery skin and webbed hands and feet. They had bulging eyes, wide mouths, and deep grooves on their heads instead of hair. Suddenly, one of the figures noticed the salesman. They pulled out a wand and waved it, sending a spray of sparks flying in the air. The man sped away, the first witness to the Loveland Frog, with a peculiar smell of alfalfa and almonds trailing behind his car. The salesman's name has been forgotten, but a sighting by two officers in 1972 revivified, revitalized, resistified the tale. It was March 3rd, 1972. The bracing winds of winter not yet turned over to the spring sunshine. At 1 a.m., Loveland police officer Ray Shockey was driving on Riverside Drive near the Totes Boot Factory in the Little Miami River when a creature dashed in front of his car. Its eyes glowed in Shockey's headlights. Before it skittered away, Shockey saw it was similar to the creature in the traveling salesman's story, about 3 to 4 feet tall, with distinctly frog-like features. The frogman took advantage of Shockey's bewilderment and scrambled to the roadside, hopped the guardrail, and escaped into the river. The only trace left behind were a few scratch marks on the guardrail's metal side. 2 weeks later, on St. Patrick's Day, Officer Mark Matthews drove around the same boot factory. Something crouched in the middle of Kemper Road. Thinking the lump was roadkill, Matthews exited his car to clear it from the road. The lump jumped at Matthews. It dashed to the guardrail and scrambled underneath, keeping eye contact with Matthews the entire time. Matthews drew his revolver and took a shot. Now here's where the story changes. The story originally goes that the officer missed. However, with new accounts of today by this officer, he stated that he shot it, recovered the body, and placed it into his truck. He then described it as a large, sickly iguana, missing its tail. He said the other officer stated that it was also what he had seen. Very interesting, because the original story the officer gave was that he missed, didn't kill whatever it was, didn't see it again, and that it corroborated with the other officer's story. However, with all the backlash, storytelling, and possibly government involvement, he now tells the tale as a sickly iguana that skittered around across the road that was 3 feet long, without its tail. Very interesting. And that he had thrown it into his truck after he shot it and showed the other officer and showed no one else. Very interesting. My question is, why would you shoot an iguana?
Wow. So the first story that you said, there was like 3 like frogmen or whatever that you said. That I seen that in a movie. I forgot what movie it was, but there's just like 3 is like some like cartoony, I think. There was 3 frogs and like they like all like were, I don't know if they're gambling or like talking. They're like little business frogs, you know.
Is this a
I'm trying
picture or is this a story?
It's a movie, and I've seen it throughout like different things, like little frogmen.
Reminds me of that picture with the dogs all sitting around and gambling, but yet it could be frogs this time, you know?
Yeah, and yeah, I don't remember what movie it was from, but
Lots of stories about see, that's the thing too, is that they said frog, but it could be reptilian. So that's the thing, is would a reptilian kind of humanoid being kind of look like a frog? You know what I mean? Or would you be like, that's a fucking lizard? Because frogs kind of have human legs. If you've ever ate them, you'd know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
The way they stand.
Mhm.
Oh, it's delicious, Jay. You should try it someday.
Tastes like chicken.
It tastes like fishy chicken. It's amazing. It sounds disgusting. It's absolutely amazing.
I'll take your word for it.
Catching them is the funnest part, though. But yeah, interesting. So, this cryptid conspiracy kind of deep dives into more than that the cop ends up trying to cover his own ass and is taking his own story back, and they're trying to change it. And most of the front pages of like articles, news articles you'll see on this, they're stating the story as if it's not too different. So they're like, it was a whatever lizard, you know, that the cop saw. However, that's not what he first reported. He first reported he tried to shoot the fucking thing and it got away. And
Wonder why would he cover that up?
Right. And why would it take 40, 50 years to fucking break it down, right?
Yeah. That movie that I was talking about, it was Meet the Robinsons.
Gotcha. My question again, why would you shoot an iguana? Like, iguanas are big lizards, but missing its tail, that's not a 3.5 foot long lizard if it's missing its tail.
Yeah, which they do, don't they lose their tails, or they can, and
they can,
live.
Yeah, and they grow back like a lot of lizards. Yeah. But why would you shoot it?
Yeah. Was it running at him, like trying to attack him?
No, he said it ran under the guard. See, that's the first thing, is that the first officer said it like jumped over the guardrail. See, the story changed, and all of a sudden he's like, no, it scooted underneath the guardrail when I saw it.
Huh.
Uh-huh. See how they changed the story there? Isn't that interesting? And it's an iguana. What would make you shoot an iguana as an officer? I mean, that's shots fired, technically. Every bullet a cop has, I don't know how long it's been since they've had this regulation. I'm sure it's been a long time, where every bullet is accounted for when it is like for police officers. Yeah, I mean, they can't just go out and start banging bullets on duty without recording it.
Have you ever seen the movie Superbad by chance?
Are you gonna throw some inaccurate facts at me from the movie Superbad right now?
I believe everything and anything that movie says.
Very hilarious. So yeah, what if it is a weird frogman? And it's been called a reptilian too. That it was a reptile on 2 legs, about 3 feet tall, some sort of wand. They described it later as a wand, but it held up something that emitted like sparks, and I think it was like a blue something that blew out of it when the first guy saw it. And then the first officer that saw it, the guy like said that he didn't believe him, but he believed that he had seen something. But he had reported, right, that this thing like hopped over the guardrail and took off. That was like 3.5, 4 feet tall. How do you go from that to a fucking iguana with its tail chopped off crawling on the ground? They crawl on their bellies. Yeah, I mean, virtually.
Yeah.
Right. Like committedly, that's what they look like. But how do you go from that to that? Does anyone know? Do you think it's just bullshit? Do you think this is a cover up? I don't know.
Ye-
I think
that's
there's a lot of
bullshit.
things that people have, like, government stepped in and said you better shut your mouth about, right? Could this be one of those? What are you feeling about the
Frogs turned
story?
gay.
I want to hear it. Oh, I guarantee
What
all
do you mean
three of
by
them
that?
frogs down there were gay. They were having an orgy.
Oh,
And that wand that he had was an actual electric double-sided dildo.
and the guy stepped in. He hopped in, and then
Yeah, he hopped in.
he actually told the cop that, and then but the cop also joined in.
Yeah,
however many
they were
years
just
later,
upset
yeah.
that the frogs wouldn't kiss him on the lips. That's what was
Yeah.
going on here. Yeah.
I think that they actually turned into the frogs after they kissed him.
Do you think they turned into gay frogs afterwards?
Yeah, and then they kissed him again, and then yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. They kissed the frog and it turned into a man. And they turned into a frog.
That's why the
Sounds
story
like-
was all.
I mean,
all
it is
stuff.
called the Loveland Frog People.
Yep,
Loveland. Oh my Lord.
I just solved that mystery.
I think you just cracked the case, Ledger.
It wasn't for them meddling kids.
And that stupid fucking dog.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. What do you guys think about reptilian people, though?
I believe that they are controlling our everything, and
Like, if they are real, do you think in 1955 there's quite the possibility that they were doing weird shit out by a lake?
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
believe
a
so.
great possibility. Like, also, I connect reptilians with the donut hole theory. In my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hollow Earth. Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, 1955 was a long fucking time ago, guys.
Well,
Very nice cars. Very nice cars. All made out of steel.
what about the
Um,
1968 Chevelle?
That's a nice one too, I suppose. If it ever
Yeah.
drives again. But yeah, 1955's traveling salesman drove through Loveland, Ohio. He was alone on the road, poorly lit bridge over the river. Side of the road were these things by a bridge doing some weird it's kind of creepy, because if you go into the satanic ritualistic part of this, right, and reptilians being a part of that, which could possibly be a form of demons, but what they were doing sounds ritualistic, right, in a way.
Having a gay orgy?
I mean, I don't know, gay orgy, which is actually part of a satanic ritual, but also
Yeah.
swinging what they called a wand and shit coming out of it. I mean, it's almost like out of a Disney movie nowadays, you know.
Propaganda.
Yeah, we might see this in a new movie,
Yep.
The Little Love Frog or something. I don't know.
It's gonna be the Princess and the Frog too.
Yeah, The Princess and the Frog too. It's ma'am.
It's actually they them.
Mm.
It's the
Yeah.
princess or whatever she wants to be.
Interesting though. Alleged sightings, Ohio. I guess they have a shit ton of cryptids up there, but yeah, this is a weird one. And it's one of those weird ones you think people wouldn't hold on to, but I don't know. You got cops doing sketchy shit, and it takes attention back to it. I guess there's shirts and all sorts of that, you know, kind of like Bigfoot, but very interesting. Could have been a reptilian humanoid sighting at some point. And it's hard to be like they're 3.5 feet tall. You know what I mean? It's always interesting when people try to say the height of whatever they see. Because for one, they're usually typically far away and they don't have like a point of to be like, this is this tall until later.
You know what I think it could have been?
Hmm.
It could have been our old friend Sleepy Co, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Being a little kid running around playing with his other little frog buddies.
Hmm. Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
And corn pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been. Frogs could have been rubbing the hair on his legs.
Yeah, eating ice cream with him.
Hmm. Very interesting. So what do you got on this, Jay? What are your ideas on this?
It's
You think so?
I know they worship it.
I thought it was
Say
an
that
owl
they're-
that they were worshiping.
and
Mm.
transforming into
Ask Alex Jones.
And what is an owl?
They're turning the frogs gay.
No, like what is an owl? Like that could just be symbolism for something. A night hunter can turn its head almost, you know what I mean, all the way around, always watching. I always think
in
that.
today's society.
Yeah, but I always think that about the owl. Like the symbolism, and then that movie, The Fourth Kind, where they're all terrified of owls. You know what I mean?
Drake.
But the symbolism of it hunts at night. It hoots and shit, but it can make weird noises, like terrifying noises. It's like the thing that can scare you in the darkness in the woods. Sharp claws, and it's night vision, and it sees all the way around it. And it's like the tattletale of the world plus a hunter. It is interesting.
Well, Drake and his whole brand
Is
you know,
owl.
is an
Yeah.
owl.
Yeah. We're about to hop on a donut archive here if we keep talking about the owl.
Yeah, I know.
It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. But yeah, owls, frogs. I mean, frogs kind of the same thing. I mean, night vision, out at night, make weird noises. I don't know. Very interesting. I think if it is a true sighting, it's a reptilian humanoid that they would call frog like. Because maybe the big eyes, you know what I mean? Like an owl. Owls, I guess, coincide with big eyes, things like that. But yeah, that's the Loveland Frog people, boys. Can't leave any cryptid out.
Oh man.
All right. So that's it for this short episode. Why don't you guys tell the people how much you love them? This much.
I love you 3000.
And you can. I love you 3000.
Hell yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
All right. We are out.